Yeah, I think I'm slightly surprised by Sterling's lack of inclusion on the basis that he does seem to just get something against City. He does seem to just get a goal against City, and I think that's kind of letting him know his writing's on the wall a little bit, that he's not likely to feature very much.
To be honest, I thought as soon as we signed Neto, I was like, someone's number is up. Someone's number is up.
Yeah.
And my gut was, well, it was such a hard one to call which one. It was like, right, Sterling is older than Madrid,
Hmm.
doesn't fit the bill in terms of the direction that Chelsea want to go. Sterling hasn't really played well for us overall, and he's on a ridiculous wage, like
Hmm.
ridiculous that they must want to get off the books. Then you look at Mudryk and you kind of go, Mudryk's shown very little apart from sheer pace. Is there a player that we can mold with? He's got an 8-year contract, 7 years at the very least, but I don't know how much he's on. He's not on anywhere near as much as Sterling. So it for me, it was like, right, which one do they think that they can move on easier?
Hmm.
And I heard a lot of rumors saying that Arsenal were now going to go in for Mudryk when we went for Neto. Um, but I always thought, realistically, I would want Sterling to leave, and there had been rumors about whether he would stay or not. Um, but his wages are ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, his wages undermine the price cap that they're trying to put in because he's their signing and they've paid him a ridiculous amount of money, and it undermines their then price cap they decide to put in, or their wage cap that they decide to put in after signing him.
Yeah, but I think if he,
So,
but I think if he was banging in the goals and backing up what he was saying, like I said last year, he was like, "I'm going to be Chelsea's top goal scorer last season," and he was nowhere near. He was so off it. Like if he was delivering that, what he's saying to that, then I don't think anyone would mind.
no,
But every Chelsea fan that I've heard phone in today or talk about it or post something about it has just been like, "All right, bye, good go." I've not heard one fan sort of say, "Yeah, yeah, do you know what? I wish he'd stay. Can he take a price cut so he'd stay if he really wanted to stay?" That thing, none of it. I think the disappointing thing is obviously his camp have come out on his behalf to discuss how they feel like he's been treated when they thought he would play because he's been in the media wearing the new shirt sponsor and all this sort of stuff in the build up to the game. He came back 2 weeks early from the preseason to start training by himself. Um, you know, that to me just sounds like Sterling, where it's like, well, I'm up here. I feel like I'm up here. Why am I not playing and stuff? And I've not seen anything while he's been at Chelsea that would suggest he's that level of player. I thought he was very lucky at City at times because just the players that he played with. But you've not seen Conor Gallagher come out and whine about it. You've not seen Chalobah and his team come out and whine about it. Lukaku hasn't even whined about anything recently, which I find surprising. And all of a sudden Sterling's come out, and now it's I need to have a chat. We need to have a chat with the directors. We need to have a chat with the manager and the owner. Find out where he's at. He's still got 3 years left.
I
It
think
took a lot away from the game. It took a lot away from the game. All I've heard today is about Sterling.
I think it's probably quite a savvy move. I think it's one of those from him. It's classless, but I think everyone kind of knows it's a bit of a toss up between him and Mudryk for the sort of backup left wing role at the minute. There's never really Mudryk's never really shown enough to be ahead of him, and Sterling's not really shown enough to make you want to go right. There's potential in this bloke, but we've got Sterling, so who may be better than him on his given day. And Mudryk's just shown enough of flashes to show there is a bit of a player there somewhere, and it's whether we can bring it out in him. I think it is a bit of a coin toss between the two of them. I think they're just putting a little bit more weight on you need to play Sterling rather than Mudryk to get him in the squad.
Yeah, I think there's various angles when you look at the situation. Personally, I think I still would want Madrid to stay if I'm brutally honest.
I would as well.
But here, my big thing with the Sterling thing is this: if you really do you think that if the club turn around to him and say, "We hear you, we want you to stay," if you we want you to stay, but you've got to cut your wages in half to stay at this club, and we'll sell Mudryk, do you think he would do that?
No.
No.
And I think he'd still be overpaid if he did that.
Yeah, and that's exactly my point. Like he's on what, like, I think reports say 325, anywhere between
Yeah.
320 and 350 he's on, supposedly, right? So you cut that, you're still looking at easily 150 a week plus,
Yeah.
right? Now, if you really wanted to be at that club and prove that you want to do well for the club, etc., which is what he always comes out and says and all blah blah blah, then I personally would be saying, what's the issue? If the issue is the salary, let's renegotiate because I want to be here. If you don't want to renegotiate the salary, and that is the problem for the club, then why should he not be asked to leave or told to move? I mean, West Ham are looking at him, Crystal Palace are looking at him. They're not going to pay those wages. So if he's really serious about getting back into England, he's really serious about wanting to be a big player for the club and for the team, then A, show it, and B, cut your wages. Otherwise, if that isn't the case, he doesn't then want to move. I don't think he's going to have a problem playing with the under 23s, under 21s, training by himself with a few other rejects. Apparently, at the club don't feel that we need anymore, and still earn his money. I genuinely think he would be that player that would sit there and earn his money and go, I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid what I want. I don't
Yeah.
care. And I think that's the problem. And other people have commented on his mentality and the way he acts. And I think that for me is a big part of it. Was all we've ever heard from Mudryk is he might not be performing, but he's a good trainer. He puts the effort in, and
I
maybe
think
that's
the
maybe
trainer
that's
too
toss
much.
up. Well, yeah, I think they had to tell him to stop doing his gym work.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, enough of Sterling.